Hello and welcome to today's writing lesson. Today we start a new topic, summary writing. What's the meaning of summary writing? Let's find out. What is a summary? A summary is a shortened, condensed version of an item, such as an article, story, film, or chapter in a textbook. The purpose of a summary is to share the key ideas from the item with your reader. What does that mean, the key ideas? It means that you only include the most important information from the original source. What do you keep in a summary? You keep the author's name, the title of the article, the important dates and facts, the main idea, the key details that support the main idea, and what do you not include in a summary? The long quotations, descriptions, and explanations, details not related to the main idea, and your own personal opinion or reactions. This is very, very important for you to know. You never want to state your opinion in a summary because a summary should only talk about the author's opinion, not yours. Why do we summarize? Number one, for comprehension. Comprehension means understanding, so that we could reduce the information to essential ideas in order for us to understand and learn important information only. And for communication, to expand the breadth or depth of your writing, which means that you only talk about the important things and people won't feel burdened by extra unnecessary details. The most important thing that you should include in a summary are these three skills. What are they? Number one, paraphrasing. Number two, quoting. Number three, summarizing. What does it mean to paraphrase? It is to use your own words and create passages about the same length as original and include in-text citation. For quoting, you use the exact wording, you use quotation marks, and you also include in-text citation. For the summarizing, you use your own words, you create passages shorter than the original, and you include in-text citation. As you can see, for all three skills, I have to include in-text citation. What is citation? It is when I make the reference to the original text. And why is this important? It is important because it is not my text. These are not my words. They are not my ideas. So I have to maintain the integrity of the original text. Again, the summary should include all three. So if I am summarizing an article, I should have some quotes by the author. I should paraphrase, meaning I should use my own words to express the main idea of the article. At the same time, I should summarize, which means to make it shorter. So what is paraphrasing exactly? It is when you borrow ideas from the source, explain them in your own words, but include proper citation. Again, citation means to reference your information to the original article. Again, this is very important. Let's look at an example for paraphrasing. This is the original text. Willy Wonka was famous for his delicious candy. Children and adults loved to eat it. Paraphrasing means that I look for the synonyms of the words. So I say Willy Wonka was, instead of saying famous, I say known throughout the world. This is another way of saying famous. For his, I say because. Delicious candy, I say the tasty candy. Instead of saying children and adults, I say people. And instead of saying loved to eat it, I say enjoyed eating. And then I change the order also. Instead of saying delicious candy, children and adults love to eat it, I say because people enjoyed eating the tasty candy he made. And what is a summary? A summary is the main idea or ideas of the work. And this is what we call the indirect quote of content. The summary is condensed. What does condensed mean? It means more briefly stated, shorter, when compared to the original quote or paraphrase. Let's look at a summary example. You are all familiar with this rhyme. This rhyme says, the itsy bitsy spider climbed up the water spout, down came the rain and washed the spider out, up came the sun and dried up all the rain, and the itsy bitsy spider climbed up the spout again. Do you know that I could summarize all of this into just one sentence? Why? Because what's the main idea? I have a very small spider. It climbed, it washed the spider out, the itsy bitsy spider could climb up again. So can you guess how I can summarize it? A spider fell but got up again. Now the last skill is the quoting. What is quoting? A quoting uses exactly the same words and puts them in quotation marks. So if you need to cite a quote by the author, this is what you do. You include the exact words and use quotation marks. If the quotation is more than 2 lines, you should put it in a separate paragraph and indent it from both sides. Let's revise again about the 3 skills that I should include in my summary writing. Number 1, paraphrase. What is paraphrasing? It is to rewrite an idea using your own words. You should write in your own words and use your own style. You should translate the author's words into your own. You should maintain a similar tone as the original author, and you should always give credit as needed. Quote. What is quoting? It is to rewrite an idea exactly as it appears. The words and phrasing are copied directly from the text, and you include quotes or quotation marks around the author's words, and you must give the author the credit. And I use quoting for providing text evidence or when justifying an answer. And the last skill is summarize. What does it mean? It means to retell the main idea of a text in your own words, but shorter. It is a brief and more condensed version of a longer text. It includes key academic words and phrases, but does not copy the author's sentences. It includes the main idea and key details only. It does not include your own opinion. This is again very important. Something very important you have to know about paraphrasing is that you have to avoid direct plagiarism. What is plagiarism? It is the use of another person's words and or ideas without properly documenting or giving credit to the source. So how do I know if I am plagiarizing or not? I ask myself a question. Is this my idea? If it is my idea, then this is perfect. But if it's not my idea, I ask myself another question. Am I going to put it in my own words or use someone else's words? If I will use my own words, then I have to paraphrase and cite, meaning I should mention the original author's name. If I will use the original author's exact words, then I use quotation and again I cite, which means to make reference to the original author. And this is how I avoid plagiarism. Why do I avoid plagiarism? Because it is illegal and it could cause my work to be rejected. For the 3 skills, quoting, summarizing, and paraphrasing, let's have a look to what we include and what we leave out. The author and a year are necessary for all 3 skills. For quoting, summarizing, and paraphrasing. When do I use the exact text? It is necessary only if I'm quoting, but it is prohibited if I am summarizing or paraphrasing. When do I use quotation marks? It is only when I am quoting. I am not required to use quotation marks when I am summarizing or paraphrasing. Do I include page numbers? Only if I am quoting. If I am summarizing or paraphrasing, there is no need. Do I use my own words? If I'm quoting, it is prohibited, but if I am summarizing or paraphrasing, it's a must. Do I use my own structure when I am quoting? Definitely not. But do I use it when I am summarizing and paraphrasing? It is definitely a requirement and it is necessary. This is a rubric for summary writing. The best summary writing will have these qualities. Number 1, the summary will include the most important facts of the text, and the poorest one will not include the most important facts from the text. The best summary writing will show strong evidence of the structure of the text, which means that the ideas are written in the same order from the original text. And lastly, the summary strongly reflects the author's purpose for writing the text. This is another rubric for summary of article. I ask myself these following questions. Is the topic of the original article stated yes or no? The main idea, is it clearly stated? It has to be clearly stated. And whose opinion should I include? Only the author's position or opinion, not mine. Are the major points or reasons mentioned? Does the summary focus on the major points and reasons or the information from the article? Yes, they should. Accurate. Are the major points, reasons, and or information accurate? Yes, they should be accurate, meaning I should include very important dates and facts from the original essay. Concise. What does the word concise mean? It means that the summary is shorter than the original article. Combined ideas. Are some of the the ideas combined into longer or more sophisticated sentences? It means yes. How so? I shouldn't just take the main ideas and write them in very short and cut off sentences. I should combine them with transition words. And lastly, understanding. Is the summary easy to understand? Yes, definitely it should be. Now, what are the steps for informational summary? Number 1, I have to read the article. Number 2, I should find the main idea. Where do I find the main idea? It is usually the first sentence or the last sentence in the first paragraph. Why the first paragraph? Because every essay has to mention the main idea in the first paragraph, which is the introduction to the article. So I should highlight the important key words. I should find the main idea in each paragraph for the rest of the article. So the first paragraph, which is the introduction to the article, I should find the main idea in it, and the rest of the paragraphs I should find the main idea for each of the paragraphs. And I also have to highlight the important keywords. Number 4, I take notes and I make bullets and write the main idea for each paragraph. Step number 5, I revise my bullets and then I find synonyms for the nouns, verbs, or adjectives so it doesn't sound like they are copied from the article. Number 6, now I start writing my summary in my own words. So this is how I should be taking my notes. I list the main ideas in phrase form first. Which main ideas? For every paragraph in the article with the exception to the first paragraph. Here I use the main idea from the first paragraph, which I call the introductory sentence. So for example, here are the main ideas. Gym, loud and active. Cafeteria, talk with friends, find out latest news. Corridor, the place to be for as long as possible. School is a pretty good place to be. And what should be the topic of my summary or the introductory sentence? There are 3 areas of Nicole's middle school where all the action happens. Then I will turn my main ideas into sentences using my own words and I will combine some of them in one sentence. I will use transition words. Here are examples of some transition words. First, next, finally, before, after, during, later, also, another, in addition, in conclusion, to sum up, similarly, however, on the contrary, most important, for example, as a result, therefore, and finally, I proofread and edit my summary. Let's look at how it was done here in this example. The gym is where we can be loud and active. You see, it was merely a phrase here. Gym, loud and active. How did I transform it? The gym is where we can be loud and active. Cafeteria, talk with friends, find out latest news. The cafeteria is where for 20 minutes we can talk to our friends and find out the latest social news. Corridor, the place to be for as long as possible. The corridor outside the 7th grade wing seems to be the place where everyone just wants to be, and we try to stretch out the 3 passing minutes as long as we can. School is a pretty good place to be. We may complain about school, but this is a pretty great place to be. So which transition words should I use? The example chose to use these words, and the student added beyond and in short. Let's have a look at the final summary. There are 3 areas of Nicole's middle school where all the action happens. First, there is the gym where we can be loud and active. Beyond the gym, there is the cafeteria where for 20 minutes we can talk with our friends and find out about the latest social news. Finally, the corridor outside the 7th grade wing seems to be the place where everyone just wants to be, and we try to stretch out the 3 passing minutes as long as we can. In short, we may complain about school, but this is a pretty great place to be. This is another summary example. Please pause the video and read this summary, and then move on to the next slide to see how we dissected and how we structured it in the final shape that it's in right now. As you can see, we have a title. So the first thing is the title. I copy the title of the article. Then, as you can see, I have 3 paragraphs. The first, the middle, the last. The first paragraph, what did I do and how did I write it and where did I get it from? The first paragraph, I write the main idea of the article. And where do I get it from? From the introduction of the article. Then I could turn it into a hook. For example, I could change it into a question. So here I said, did you know scientists discovered a 30-million-year-old cat skull in North Dakota? There are many fascinating facts about this prehistoric feline and its extinct relatives. Now let's look at paragraph number 2. As you can see, in bold are typed transition words. Equally important, in addition, also, clearly. But then let's have a look at how we structured the second paragraph. This is where I write my summary. First, like we said, we take bullets and then we combine them with transition words. For example, first, next, then, to begin with, also, equally important, in addition, in the end. Cats from the Ice Age like to climb and run, but hunted in groups to kill animals like mammoths. Equally important, saber-toothed cats are the relatives of the 37 kinds we have today. In addition, they had long teeth, and so on. Looking back at the last paragraph, which is actually just a line, it is considered the closing of your summary, in which I restate the main idea. I could use in my closing clearly, as you can see, to sum it up, in conclusion, truly, all in all, in short. So here I said clearly, Ice Age cats were amazing felines from the past. Now you should be ready to write. Let's revise one last time what we need to do to write a summary. Number 1, use the thesis statement, which is the main idea for the article, as the introductory sentence of my summary. Again, this is my introductory paragraph, and in the introductory paragraph, I state the main idea of the original article. And where do I get the main idea? It can be found in the introduction paragraph of the original essay or article. Number 2, I add transition words like then, however, also, moreover, and so on. Number 3, I write in the present tense, and this is important. Number 4, make sure to include the author and the title of the work. Number 5, be concise, which means that your summary should not be the same length as the original text. Number 6, if you must use the words of the author, cite them, which means use quotes. Number 7, don't put your own opinions, ideas, or interpretations into a summary. This is extremely important. You are not writing an opinion piece. This is summary. What is most important is the author's opinion, not yours. And the last thing is, the purpose of writing is to accurately represent what the author wants to say, not for you to provide a critique. This concludes our lesson. Thank you for listening.
Carla and her dog are best friends. They play fetch. She teaches him tricks. They relax together. And he makes her feel safe at night. When we watch this story, we know what it's about because there is a main idea, which is the most important idea about a topic. Carla and her dog are best friends. Then we learn that Carla and her dog do lots of things together. These are the details, the small pieces of information that tell us more about why Carla and her dog are best friends. The main idea is the most important idea about a topic. Details support the main idea and help us understand it better by telling us more about it. Carla sure does love her dog.